In this video, I'm going to prove to you that it's training, not talent, that's holding you back from playing beautiful tennis, and that anyone, regardless of age and skill level, can absolutely develop beautiful technique, play beautiful tennis if they truly want to. It's training, not talent. This is Mark, and he's in his 60s, so it has nothing to do with age. Lots of people think you need to start when you're young, and that's the only way you can develop really awesome looking technique. But this guy's in his 60s, has struggled to have topspin on his forehand his entire life and develop this professional style forehand, which you're seeing him hit here in the black shirt. He's a great player, a solid 4-0 player, but as you can see, the first forehand, where he's in the red shirt, is just a little off. Something doesn't look right, but you can see in that second forehand that he looks much better, hits a much cleaner ball with beautiful topspin, and his technique looks pretty flawless. And this was accomplished in less than 2 hours of training. So again, and if you're watching this video and you want to come out and learn how to play beautiful tennis with me, make sure you attend one of my hyper-focus camps, and you can click the link here on this page. So let's get in to this video and learn how we did this step by step, and you will see after this video that doesn't have to do with talent, it's all about training. Let's go. Okay, so first let's take a look at Mark's stroke and figure out why has he struggled to hit topspin his entire life. That was his main issue. He's like, I want to learn how to get more topspin on my ball. Again, this is a good player, wins a ton of matches, 4-0 player, but he still can't hit topspin on the ball consistently, and he's frustrated. So right here, we're going to see just even the way he prepares, how it starts to become an uphill battle. Right now, the strings are facing towards the ground, so he's in good shape. He's got a chance right now. Once he starts to do this, and right there, you see how he kind of wiggles his wrist back, and now the racket face is actually starting to face upwards. Okay, so once he does that, now all of a sudden it's going to get a little tougher. And you can see on the way back, the strings are starting to face up. So the first move that I discovered was actually well before he hit the ball. Right here, he's fine. Then once he does that, all of a sudden it's an uphill battle, and he's got maybe a 50-50 chance of hitting a nice ball with rotation on it. As he continues, now he drops it, and he's back in good position. The strings are now facing the ground, so this forehand actually has a chance again. You can see the racket butt is facing up to the ball pretty nicely. And then when he goes to hit, though, now he again wiggles his wrist again, and we can see that the strings are facing up. So this ball is either going to fly up or drive through the court. And as he's going, we can see that the racket face is open after contact. And now he's starting to turn over, and the strings are starting to face the ground again. So he's kind of faking himself out. So the relationship is kind of transitioning back and forth between a ball that might be able to hit topspin and a ball that's either going to be driven flat or take off on him, and that's where the frustration sets in. So that's what his stroke looks like when a ball is coming at him. So how do we train him to get rid of these bad habits that he's had for probably 30, 40 years? Let's get into this. So the first thing I asked Mark to do, which I could tell once I showed him what he was doing, surprised him. I asked him to do shadow strokes. The first thing you want to do to get better is take away all the variables. The tennis ball is a big variable that's going to keep your bad habits ingrained. You need to start analyzing what you're doing without a tennis ball even coming. And since Mark's been playing pretty much his whole life, I think he thought, shadow stroke, no problem, I can do that. But you can see as he's going, even though it looks like a pretty good stroke, there's some things going on that's keeping him from really getting topspin. Number one, he kind of pushes through the ball. If I show this in regular speed, he's kind of pushing through the ball. He's not developing topspin or any kind of whip. Also, look at the way the racket face travels. It's not really going through the ball, it's going over here. Okay, so what the strings are going to do, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen to the tennis ball. So you can see the way he's going through that he's actually swinging over there, even though he was trying to swing that way with a topspin type stroke. He wanted topspin to be going over there in that area of the court. You can see that the way his hips are swaying, everything's moving this direction, which when I showed him this, he was surprised to see. So what I did after that is I showed him how he wants his shadow stroke to look. So here's my demonstration for Mark. As you can see, the strings are facing the ground, so that's going to help promote topspin. I'm in a semi-western grip. And then as I come down here, again, checkpoint number 2, the string's still facing the ground. You're going to see lots of pros get in that same position where the strings are extremely facing the ground on the forehand back there. And now you can see that my racket butt flips to the outside here towards the net post. Again, strings facing the ground. And then when I go to hit, we can see this kind of rolling or brushing move. So now I've brushed the ball, I've made contact about there, and it's brushing up. So the ball will kind of look like that and go over, though it'll look prettier than that. It's a bad drawing by me. And then as I come through, we can see that the racket is facing towards the fence. I call that a sideways hello. So that's why I demonstrated to Mark, and then I took him step by step. So there's going to be more that I did with him on the court than you're going to see in this video, but let's start to see how he starts to develop this nice topspin forehand look. So in this clip, Mark is going to almost get it, but not quite. You're not going to really see him whip his forehand. The thing that really helped him, as I said, whip the hip, and he got that eventually, but not in this clip. But what he did get is we finally got that racket to the strings to face the ground, and look at how much more extreme now the racket butt is going out there towards the net post. So this is the wrist lag, as people like to call it on YouTube. But you can see as he's coming here, he's still more pushing the ball, and the strings are kind of opening a little too much. So he's not going to get that topspin yet. And you can see just in that little move right there that, again, that ball is going to kind of be going up like that with not much rotation. I'm showing you this to really emphasize that just because you're hearing something and you're in the ballpark with your swing, I mean, it looks like a nice swing, the technique without the ball has to be perfect if you have any chance to do what your goal is with the ball coming. So you can't be just kind of close, kind of going through the motions. You have to know that you're doing it absolutely perfect. And that's what I train you how to do, especially if you come train with me. So, if you ever have the chance, either sign up for my 7-day challenges, which we go through these drills step by step, or come on out and visit me, especially at my hyper-focus camps. All right, let's get into when he really starts to get his shadow stroke looking nice. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at some of the shadow swings in regular speed. So you're going to hear my annoying voice in the background. But you're going to see that now he's starting to create that racket head speed, that whip into the ball, and then we'll break it down in slow motion. You're going to see that's actually still not entirely perfect, but it's way, way better.
We're going to do that again. The hip creates the whip. We're going to do that again. The hip creates the whip. Okay.
So you can see there, that looked a lot more like a professional style stroke that we're seeing on TV today. Still not perfect to my liking, but what we're going to see there is when he goes, hip creating the whip, you can see that he's going to get more topspin on the ball, although you can see he's still doing this a little too much. It's the wrist is going down a little too much at contact. We'd want that a little more parallel, but overall better. It has more of a chance, and you're going to see when he starts hitting the ball that his ball is going to have more spin on it. But he was able to create a lot more racket head speed than he was doing before. Now he's whipping and not pushing. But I'm still not crazy about the contact point, okay? Just so you know. So it's not perfect, but it's a lot better. And we're going to see that when he goes to hit the ball and he connects, he's able to hit a really, really nice topspin forehand. Okay, so another big mistake that recreational players do is they kind of see the idea, yeah, I got it. Let me go out and rally. Let me go hit some balls now. But you can see where I am. I'm here, right here in the short court, feeding underhand. Again, when I went to Rafa's Academy, and saw them coach. Lots of underhand feed. Got him closer inside the court so he feels that he doesn't have to work as hard to hit the ball and get it over the net. This helps a lot. Now look at this wrist lag here. Amazing. Looks like Rafa Nadal or something. An awesome position right here to hit the ball, and then look at him hit this topspin. Look how that ball is rotating, and the hip creates the whip. You see how that is all smoothly working off the hip? The hip initiates the racket head speed, and look at that beautiful rotation. The follow through is real nice. We're going to even clean up the follow through more next lesson, which you'll see on his final shot. But you could see now we're getting that topspin on the ball. Is it perfect every time? No, because it's something new he's still learning. But look at this one right here. Again, another beautiful topspin forehand. Guys, he's never been able to hit topspin in over 40 years of playing. So again, it's training, not talent. This is all accomplished. As you can see, he's still in his red shirt. This is less than an hour of training. We actually worked on his serve in the same lesson, okay? So this is less than an hour of training. So it doesn't take forever to do this. If you just do the right training with the right trainer, you can accomplish this too. I promise you. I do this over and over again with students. And as you can see, I'm super proud of him. So I'm like, let's go. Let's take a look at this. You did a great job. All right, let's take a look at his final shot so you can see from beginning to end how much we've improved. Now, as you can see in this second lesson, he's in the black shirt now, and he's getting ready to hit. Notice I'm still throwing the ball underhand, but we're further away, and now he's working on the full court. You can see as he comes to hit that ball is going to go higher off the strings and roll. So we can see that ball's got nice height, and it's going to spin down the court. Again, he's never been able to do this entire life. And what was cool in this lesson is sometimes he was hitting the ball lower than net and faster, but still had rotation, higher than net for more of the rally ball, and had that nice rotation. And we can see that his follow through, we've also cleaned that up. He's still a little wonky. Notice he's still a little wonky right here in the beginning. That's why I'm not letting him do like a full unit turn yet, because he's still fiddling around with his wrist. Over time we'll clean that up too, but we can see the most important part right here. This looks really nice, and he's rotating that ball, and then look at that finish. We'll take a look one more from the side, and we'll wrap up this video for you. And then I just wanted to show you from the side here, because look, I'm so proud of my student. Look at how nice that offhand he's using it, where in the beginning he wasn't. He used this offhand just perfectly here, and laying that wrist back. Here he's driving through it a little more. Look at that contact. Now that contact, remember how I showed you in the shower strokes a couple frames ago that I didn't like it? It needs to be a little more parallel. Well, look at this contact. Second lesson out. That's perfect. And then watch the extension so he drives this a little more with topspin, because look at that reach out there. That looks incredible. Look at the strings facing the ground. Again, hitting all the checkpoints that you need to hit a forehand like a professional. And then look at that follow through. He looks like he could start teaching the class himself. Again, this is training, not talent. Not to say that he's not talented. I'm not saying he's not talented, but what I'm saying, this guy has been talented his whole life, hasn't figured out how to do this. But with some good training, in one lesson, 2 lessons, less than 2 hours on the court, he's able to look amazing. And so, guys, that's the process that you need to go through. It's not about hitting more balls, going out there in the ball machine, keep doing the same thing wrong. It's about doing the same thing right and going through the process over and over again. So if you'd like to come out and train with me, make sure you sign up for one of my hyper-focus camps. We have about a handful left to finish out 2023, and they're filling up quickly, so make sure you apply. And I'd love to see you out here on this very court with me. Notice how it's nice and shady too. So we have a nice shady court for you here in Atlanta waiting. Make sure you fill out the form, and I'd love to see you on this court so we can teach you how to play beautiful tennis.